We're now going to cover the nullable integer data type. So this is a new pandas only data type that does not exist in NumPy and allows for missing values. So this is the key feature that it has. That's why it's called nullable integer data type. The default integers from NumPy do not allow missing values. So I'm going to show this by attempting to create a series using a list again. And I'm going to put a missing value over here using NumPy. And I'm going to try to force the data type to be a int 64. So this is how you can force a data type for a Panda series. Use the dtype parameter. You assign it to a string over here that is the data type. So if I try to do this, I'm going to get an error. It's like it says, well, I can't convert this to an integer. This is not an integer. So if this is your first time coming to pandas, this is pretty disappointing to, you try to create, like, why can't you have an integer column with missing values? Other languages allow this, but in pandas and NumPy, this is not allowed. So unfortunately, this doesn't work. Now, interestingly, this does work if you do not put the dtype, but what pandas does is it just uses a data type that does allow missing values. So a float 64, all floats have missing values that are a part of their numbering. And so it just converts the integers to floats like this. So this is the workaround when you want to stay with the default data types. But what's possible is that now, this is somewhat new to pandas, is that you can actually use this nullable integer type. And I know this is confusing. You use capital I for the integer, capital I int 64. And this will create a nullable int, so it allows for integers that have a missing value. Notice the missing value representation is different. So I know this is all kind of confusing, but this is sort of just pandas way of saying, well, you can use our new data types like this, or you can stick with the old way with NumPy and converting to float. So this is there's also a new missing value object in pandas. So pd.na, so for all the new pandas only data types, the missing value representation is pd.na for all of them. It just uses one single one like this. So you could have used pandas here like this, and without this int 64. It does say object. I know this is very confusing. It doesn't automatically convert. This is because pandas is still in the process of using this nullable integer. So it's not quite fully ingrained into pandas. It might take until pandas 2.0 and for this all to take effect. So you have to actually specify this capital I int 64 to get that actual integer data type. All right, so as I've discussed, these nullable integers don't exist in NumPy, but they do exist in pandas with this new nullable integer type. This is not the default, so you have to specify that you are going to use it by using this capital I int and this dtype parameter. All right, so that is the nullable integer data type.